Hi, good morning. Welcome to my Wednesday devotional. As you can see today, you might be able to hear the rain in the background. We're having rain and thunderstorms and lightning right now. It's a little bit calm, but if you hear that throughout the recording, don't panic. It's been very dark and scary and all kinds of stuff going on as the thunderstorms are blowing through over our house, but right now it's calm, so just don't panic. I just want to let you know. It's not you. It's definitely us over here. But anyway, I'm also recording this. We are wrapping up chapter 2, and I'm doing this before we're going to redo, my husband and I are going to redo my desk and studio areas, so I will have a different background hopefully next time you see this. So I'm filming this real fast before we tear up my office. Then we'll do his desk. So we got both of our desks are coming through FedEx today, so throughout, and we got thunderstorms and all kinds of stuff, so a lot of excitement going on here. So we'll see. Like I said, hopefully I'll be facing another direction, so we'll see. All right, so we are going to wrap up Esther chapter 2. There's 10 chapters, so next time I'll go into chapter 3. So we're rolling. I know, doesn't feel like it. I know, seems a little slow, but I like it. Me personally, I just like 2 or 3 verses at a time, because I feel like you can really marinate on the words and really soak up what is God trying to tell me today. Just slow it down, and that's really what He wants. He just wants your heart. He doesn't want perfection. He knows. None of us are perfect, right? Only Jesus Christ. So, it's important to just slow things down a little bit, because life is pretty fast, right? This is the one area where you can just slow it down and just savor the moment and really soak up your relationship with God, through Jesus Christ, of course. All right, so we're going to go ahead and launch into the verse. Now, I left up 21 and 22 from last week so you can kind of get the gist of the story, because we only got one verse this week, which is the final verse, verse 23. So I'm going to go over it one more time, and I'm going to roll through the whole thing, and I'm going to talk about it. All right, verse 21. One day as Mordecai was on duty at the king's gate, 2 of the king's eunuchs, Bigtha and Teresh, who were guards at the door of the king's private quarters, became angry at King Xerxes and plotted to assassinate him. Verse 22, but Mordecai heard about the plot and gave the information to Queen Esther. She then told the king about it and gave Mordecai credit for the report. All right, here's this week, verse 23. When an investigation was made and Mordecai's story was found to be true, the 2 men were impaled on a sharpened pole. This was all recorded in the book of history of King Xerxes' reign. Okay, so last week we were talking about the parallel stories that were going on. For Mordecai on one side is how I kind of do it, and paralleling that with Esther, how the 2 of them are kind of have a story going. So this really could be the book of Esther and Mordecai. You'll see by the end of this what I'm trying to say. But it's interesting how they both kind of start off at the bottom in very humble situations, and how both of them rise to the top. Actually, like I said, they should have labeled this 2 things, but I'm glad this is Esther's moment. So, all right. So she told the king about it, gave him credit, which is very honest and obedient, both to Mordecai and to the king. She's obviously a very honest person, right? Very forthright. And that's what's great about Mordecai and Esther. They're very pure, they're very honest, and they don't, have any ties to anything. They're just being true. When you think about it, that's another thing that God had his hand on, okay? So verse 23. When investigation was made, so Mordecai's story was found to be true. Again, he's just as honest as Esther. And boom, just like that, 2 men were impaled. Those 2 men, those bullies that were most likely going to bully Mordecai, probably in the locker room or something like that later. Thank God, he had the backbone to do the right thing. And thank God that the king or the king's handlers, whatever, they just went out. Those 2 men impaled. And I don't know if you've ever looked at, any artwork or whatever about what that looks like. I looked it up last time when I was teaching this one. Impaled is like, is that what I think it is? And yes, it is. It's I kind of get a visual of like a roach on a knife or something. It's what it looks like. It's just gross. I don't like things like that. I don't like gross gross things. So, yeah, it's as bad as it sounds. A sharpened pole. Notice they didn't say, something dull or, maybe they hung around. No, sharpened is like, ooh. Ooh, speaking of sharpened, let's do there we go. Sharpened pole just makes it sound that much worse. I mean, did they just take the guys and just go bam, and really slam them in there? Or was it like, who knows? Ugh, it's also gruesome. At any rate, if you're getting impaled on a sharpened pole or any kind of pole, you're basically going to die. I don't know the details because, like I said, gory details just gross me out. So, but I'll let you guys look it up and comment if you want. But yeah, that just goes to show. Now, what does that show about the king's reign, about his style of leadership? Okay, remember at the beginning, chapter 1, I was setting this all up for, he had these beautiful curtains and stone floor, the what do you call it? The stonework that had beautiful jewels in it. All these beautiful decorations and a lot of wealth and opulent, fancy parties. I mean, you're just thinking, wow. And then, bam, on the flip side, those guys impaled on a sharpened pole. He just like cut that off. Not even gonna waste any time. Which kind of, in my opinion, sounds like, is this king kind of a flip-flopper? Like, well, not flip-flopper, and he changed his mind, but more like he's super extreme generous with his money, wealth, and power, but bam, if you even dare to even think about it, to do something that goes against the wrong way, you're out. So it's sort of like, I don't know what I'm looking for, but like an extreme version. 1 minute everything's all loving and kind, then bam, on the other side, he's going down the other direction, So it just seems like he just kind of moves quickly, and he's very extreme, maybe? I don't know. I have to find some better words. But it's kind of where I'm at. Like, wow, that's kind of interesting, how he operates, that he's very extreme. It's like, I was going down the road of generosity, and now I'm like, again, this is why I like to slow down the verses, because it gives you a chance to, look at all different roads and angles. I like to overanalyze everything, so, just more to think about. Okay, well, guys, like, share, comment, please. Let me know what you think, because this is interesting. Maybe that's just how the king is. He's, very generous with everything. It's going to be extreme with everything. Maybe he's impulsive too, or maybe he wanted to kind of give the message, you don't even bother thinking about trying to kill me. I'm going to kill you first. And that kind of makes sense, and especially for those times. Nowadays things are different, but back then, they'll just kill you for no reason. I mean, look at Queen Vashti. She was out. Didn't say if she was killed or not. I'm kind of leaning more towards banished from the kingdom and sent back to her family in some other country or something, because I would think if they were going to kill her, they might have mentioned it, since they mentioned it on this one, the writers. So I don't know. But again, we don't know. It doesn't say in the Bible, and I've looked that up before, and, they were kind of saying what I was saying. Could be one of the two things. So, but with this one, with these two jokers, forget about it. They were instantly killed. Sorry, done, out, bye. It's like, wow. Imagine if we lived like in a society like that right now. Do you think we would have the, overcrowded prison system? I don't think so. I think if we had something like that now, crime would instantly stop. I don't know. We shall see. But anyway, all right. So that is wrapping up chapter 2. We'll be going. Oh, I'm sorry, my autofocus today. There it is. Every time I move, it does this. I'm gonna stop moving. Okay, I talk with my hands. All right. So next week it'll be chapter 3. All right. Well, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate all the views. Like, share, comment, whatever you like to do. Let's make this fun. Okay. All right. I hope you guys are having a great summer. I hope you had a safe and happy 4th of July. It was kind of long, but now we can pivot, start thinking about the fall. Now that we're through the halfway point of summer and school starting up. Yay! So anyway, all right. Well, I hope you guys are having a great summer. Thanks for watching.